This is episode 7, and we're here obviously with Alvaro.
What's up? What's up?
What's up? And yeah, today we have a pretty big slate of topics. We have 7 or 8, or is it 6?
Yeah, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 8 topics today.
We got eight
And the
topics
first one we're
today.
gonna be talking about is the boycotting games and what effect it has. So Danny, I know you're the one that brought up this topic and you wanted to
Look,
get into it
I felt like we should
because you
bring
had
it
a strong
up.
opinion.
I feel like we should have brought it up because we did bring it up because it's important, and people need to express their opinions. People need to show support, right? Boycotting the games
Yeah.
has a good intention behind it. All right. What the fuck is he doing? It has a good intention behind it. Right? Actions speak louder than words. That's the philosophy that has been going everywhere. Sorry, it's my chair. And it makes sense. Now, boycotting games. We all thought it was gonna be different. We all thought that the fact that they were boycotting games meant they were just like gonna sit out of the games in respect of Jacob Blake and all those people. No, we were wrong. It turned out they had meetings. The Bucks called the state government, like they called their state officials, and they told them to get more involved. They asked to get more involved. They had conversations with the board of governors. The NBA stepped in. It took a while for them to step in, but the NBA stepped in, and they came to a good cause. They came to a good, it ended ugly at first, but after this morning's meeting, look, they changed sides because the Lakers and the Clippers last night were the only two teams that didn't want to continue the season, and you can't play without those two teams. First of all, the Lakers know they're trash. So you know what? You can't play
Is that
without those two teams.
everyone that goes to watch the Lakers goes to watch LeBron and Anthony Davis too, but like most of the attention is on LeBron. So without LeBron, you can't have a playoff.
And without your championship favorites, you can't run a playoffs. So it's that they had a meeting this morning, like at 11 a.m. They discussed their plan on like for the season, how they're gonna finish it, whatever. They are gonna finish it, and they had a meeting with the board of governors. I think they're gonna have another meeting just to see when they start over again. But that report came out. They're starting on Saturday the season. They're gonna like restart the playoffs on Saturday. They're postponing today's games. They postponed yesterday. They postponed today and tomorrow.
Not restart. You mean resume the playoffs?
I mean, everybody's saying restart, but yeah, resume. But the reason behind it was good. It had its good intentions, really good intentions. But if you think about it, boycotting games, like not playing games, is not gonna change it. It's not gonna resolve anything. You deciding to sit out of a game because of something that's happening, with because of social injustice, it's not gonna do anything. You not playing a game of basketball is not gonna change, the world's thoughts of racism. White people, the white supremacists and all those racist people, they're not gonna be like, oh, they're not playing video games because we're racist. Then they're not playing basketball because we're racist. Let's just stop being racist so they can play basketball. That doesn't work like that, and they should know that.
Yeah.
The good thing is that they had meetings
Not
behind it. And
like the league and the NBA had good intentions in boycotting. Like it was a good they did it. Not like I don't know how to say it, but they didn't have like a bad intention in doing it. They wanted to start something, but it really wouldn't have resolved in much. And I don't like getting into those type of situations because those are touchy situations. But I don't know, what they did to Jacob was insanely wrong.
Yeah. And like I told you yesterday, they abuse their powers because they have we shouldn't get into this, because this is a basketball podcast. This isn't politics. But
Yeah.
their written rules, the rules that they have written down, just have so many different avenues that they can just abuse their powers within seconds. And that's the worst of
Yeah.
it. That's the worst of it. And it's happened not just to him. It's already happened 2 times, 3, or you keep going back. It's
Multiple.
happened too
This
many
this
times.
dates back to before 2020. This has been dating back for
Centuries, pretty
thousands of
much.
years. Yeah.
Yeah. And the state government isn't doing anything about it. State
That
governments, they're not
see,
doing
I
shit
don't
about it.
understand that. I don't understand that.
The
Some people like citizens, they're standing up. No, obviously, then trying to protest against it, but is that nothing is being done by the government.
Look, in my point of view, what happened to George Floyd, for example? Yeah, he was wrongfully murdered. Wrongfully. Like, you don't apprehend the guy. He was doing something wrong. Yeah, he counterfeited a $20 bill. Okay, there's no need to kill the guy for a fake 20. But first of all, he did wrong by the fake 20. The cop did wrong, and the other cops did wrong by sitting on him pretty much, putting a knee on his neck for 8 minutes, 46 seconds. They did wrong. The citizens of Mississippi, they did wrong for burning down half the place. And the state governments did wrong for taking too long to take action.
The way that they rioted wasn't like, that's just gonna cause more problems. The way that they rioted, like, obviously what happened to him was terrible, but I mean you can't, I don't know, you can't fight fire with fire. You know what I mean?
No, and that's actually a perfect analogy because they did fight fire with fire. They dropped flames on the boy, but they all four of the groups did wrong. The government took too long. The people were blowing up the place. The cops kneeled on the guy, and the guy, faked the $20 bill. That's not that much, but still, come on. And it was a white woman too. But let's not get into that because that's not what this is about, and we don't want to, cause any difference of opinion or anything like that. But that's just we just had to throw that out there because it's an important topic and it's something that needs to be talked about and it needs to be understood by everybody. There needs to be change. That doesn't have to be said any more than it already is. There needs to be.
So let's just let the boycotting game sit and leave the politics for another time. But now with topic number 2, this one I came up with this one. The Lakers in general, like, is their consistency questionable? Because their first two games against the what's it called, the Blazers, like, LeBron didn't perform good.
LeBron performed good
at
one
all.
game. LeBron performed good one game, and that was when they took the 3-1 lead.
Yep. Last game,
their consistency has been in question for the longest time. Since they started the season. Because I know it's like a thing of the past now, but because of the groin injury that LeBron had last year, everybody, including the media, was thinking, he might not be the same. That's wrong. He was the same, even better, probably better. He turned his scoring into passing. But just because he had an MVP caliber season, he's not winning MVP. Let that be clear. He still had a top 5 player in the league. But he had an MVP caliber season. And ever since they got to the bubble, they've been playing like shit. They lost their stud defensive player, and they've been playing like shit. So to think that, and Damian Lillard went down with injury twice. And CJ McCollum's inconsistent, but still. Bro, Lewis says the Lakers are winning. The only thing stopping him is protesting. LeBron didn't want to come back because he knows for a fact that he's not winning. And if he does, I will retire or something. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like it's highly questionable, especially when they got into the
their consistency is terrible.
LeBron has 2 kids.
I mean, we all know LeBron under pressure. LeBron under pressure is a different beast. But is it enough? Is that enough to take them over the top? I don't think so.
LeBron's also, because if you hear his press conferences and stuff, he's factoring the atmosphere. It's just him, and there's no his wife and his kids are not there. His mom, that's understandable, but that could be affecting you. That could affect you mentally. You never know. Just like Paul George, he doesn't have his wife. He doesn't have his kids. Kids. I think it could affect you. You never know what kind of effect that has on you. Why do you think Devin Booker went off? He doesn't have family. In fact, the guy won 8 straight games in Phoenix and goes back to Phoenix. Goes back to wherever the hell he went. And you see him with Kendall Jenner. That guy took the immediate dub. He had nothing bringing him down. That whole team didn't have kids. Or Ricky Rubio and DeAndre Ayton, that's it. But it didn't affect them.
Yeah.
But what do you think about that? Do you think it's questionable?
What, their consistency?
Yeah.
Yeah, I already said it. They can't expect to win a title, even if they have LeBron, without consistency. Because you need team chemistry. You need what do you think about the coaching with the Lakers? Do you like it or no?
I do. Frank Vogel's a good coach for them.
You like it?
Frank Vogel's a really good coach for them, yes.
but I don't know. It all comes down to how consistent they are throughout all the games because they can't go out and blow someone up by 40 and then lose to a team by 10 plus 20 plus. Like that's just not consistent.
Okay, Lewis says the Clippers suck. You're entirely wrong, and you know that. And he says LeBron's the second best player of all time. By the way, I don't want to put this into like exist. I don't want to like drop this into existence. Other than the fact that the mock draft is coming out soon, I think it's like in 2 weeks. The mock draft is coming out. The Ace DB8s mock draft. It's gonna be mine and his, like combined. Even if he knows what the fuck a draft is. And I wanna do next episode. I'm gonna see if I can make that happen. The GOAT debate.
The goal next,
I want to
yo.
do that,
Is it
and
too
I want to see if I
soon?
can bring in. I want to see if I can bring in my boy Jordan. I shouted out several times, but I'm gonna shout him out again. Jordan Abar, the stud. I want to see if I can do the GOAT debate next episode because that's gonna be dope. And I have a list. Like I'm making a list. I'm putting my points on why my opinion is my opinion. Like I'm ready for that.
All right,
Even if we don't do it next episode.
Calm down now.
Even if we don't do it next episode, like I'm still gonna have it. And I'm gonna send the link out to Goldwyn, to Ale, to Pablo, all those people that think otherwise. I'm gonna show them.
All right, on to the next. Is Spider a future superstar? We already know that he's an all-star. He's a good all-star. But is he gonna be a superstar in the future? And Jamal Murray too. You want to throw in Jamal Murray for this one? I said Spider, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah. Yeah.
You think so?
You saw how he played? 50-point games twice in the first round.
I know you saw that Instagram post that was comparing him to Wade. What do you think about that?
Comparing him to Dwayne Wade? That's what they've been doing since college. They compared him to Dwayne Wade.
No, like his plays and his clips, like they merged them together, like they put them side by side, right?
No.
And
No.
they
Maybe
were
like one or
damn
two
near
plays,
similar.
Maybe like one or two possessions, but no, his game is not modeled by Wade because Wade didn't shoot that many threes. Wade went seasons without shooting threes. Like he went years without shooting threes. His coach didn't let him. Spoelstra didn't let him, and they won chips.
Yeah.
I think Spider can be. And also,
No.
you gotta mention Jamal Murray when you mention that because Jamal Murray did single-handedly take.
No, yeah, okay. Now we both agree that what's his name? That Donovan Mitchell could be a future superstar.
Yes.
Now, how about Jamal Murray? You think he could be a future star? Let me give you my opinion first. I feel like Jamal Murray can end up being a decent all-star. I don't think he's superstar quality.
Why not?
In my eyes, I don't know. To be a superstar, I feel like you have to be that person on the team that takes you over the edge. And in the Nuggets case, it's not him.
Well,
The future is
Jokic.
Jokic.
People want it to be Jokic, right? They want it to be Jokic. I had to put my laptop in charge. People want it to be Jokic, but it's not. It's Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray is clutch. Jamal Murray is a really good free throw shooter. Really good. Like he led the league in his rookie year, and the year after, with like 94%, something like that, 95, 94. He's a good scorer, a really good shooter. He's got the passing skills somewhat. Jamal Murray's not gonna be the best player on that team because Nikola Jokic is there, but he can be a superstar if he can single-handedly take that team. If he can do what Donovan Mitchell's doing, be the star of that team, then yes. Because Rudy Gobert is not a star. No. Rudy Gobert is not a star. Yeah, 2 blocks and 10 rebounds a game. Give me a break.
See,
Joel
once
Embiid
again,
dropped 35 points
here
and 10
comes the
rebounds.
Here comes the bias. But although you're being stupid right now, Rudy Gobert is a star. Donovan Mitchell will be a superstar. Rudy Gobert is not gonna be a superstar. He's never been. He never will be.
No,
but he's been a good all-star.
That's fine.
Donovan Mitchell will be a superstar. He's already an all-star. And last but not least, Jamal Murray, in my opinion, not superstar potential, but definitely an okay all-star. All right, the next one.
Yeah.
This one
This
I had
was
to throw
yours.
in there.
This was the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Like,
You know,
it's
because
not
you
stupid,
no,
but
no,
it's
no,
stupid.
listen to me. The only reason I put this one is because on the end of last episode, you brought this up. You said, "Oh, the Celtics will be playing the Raptors, and it's the match, and it's the most anticipated, or will be the best series in the whole thing." You
I didn't.
said that.
I didn't say that.
You said that.
Bro, this is the
I wouldn't
second
have put
time.
that.
This is the second time you tell me to run back the episode and say something I didn't say. Run it back. When you're done, when we're done here, run it back. I'll show you that I didn't say it.
No. But what do you think? I mean, because it came out of your mouth. So, do you think it's still the match of the year, or yeah?
Dude, what the hell? It's lagging again. Son of a bitch.
Do you think it's the match of the year or no?
No. There we are.
Danny, it's probably because you keep on switching me to full screen.
No, I'm not switching to full screen. I'm not. I don't continuously do it. Like I did it only once, but you started lagging, and then it got to a point where you froze.
Press F11 so you can do full screen, like on your whole thing. But all right, whatever. Do you think it's the match of the year, Celtics Raptors? Because it's part. I feel like it's the most even matchup.
I feel like the most anticipated, not the most anticipated, could be Celtics
No.
and Raptors. No, there's a category.
See,
for
no,
it. Yeah.
no. I feel like the most anticipated is Lakers Clippers or Clippers Bucks.
Yeah, no, Lakers Clippers, because you want to see the Battle of LA in the conference finals. People want to see that.
Okay,
I want to see that.
But
Well,
I feel like the best, like at the end of the day, the best one will be Celtics Raptors just because of the matchup. I feel like they're both very similar.
There's different categories to this, right? There's most anticipated, which is yes, Clippers and Lakers. There is the actual best matchup, and that is yes, the Clippers and Celtics, the Celtics and Raptors. But there's also the other category, the underdog.
I like what you
the
said
underdog.
first time. So, Clippers and Celtics.
No, the
I like
underdog. The Milwaukee Bucks and the Miami Heat. People want to see that. People talk about that. They want to see it. You know that in recent years, nobody talked about the Miami Heat because Dwayne Wade wasn't there, or because Dwayne Wade wasn't good, or because if it wasn't because he was retiring, they weren't talking about him that much. They weren't talking about us that much. Not even when we had Joe Johnson, Luol Deng, Goran Dragic, and Hassan Whiteside along with Dwayne Wade. That goated lineup. Not even. That's why, and the Miami Heat beat the Bucks 3 times this year. 3 times. We beat the series against the Bucks.
Now let's see if it can carry over to the playoffs.
Exactly, and you saw how Milwaukee lost to Orlando.
Milwaukee's playing terrible.
They're not playing terrible.
I feel like
they're not playing terrible. They're only beating Orlando by 19 points. When they should be beating them by 30. Instead of dropping 160 points like everybody else does, they drop 120.
The fact that they're losing those, aren't they the number one
defense? Yes.
Seed in like in the whole league?
They're number 1 defense too.
They shouldn't be. That's worrisome.
Look,
I feel like
it's worrisome when the whole league, even the fucking Nets, are dropping 150 points, and you're dropping 120 against the Magic that don't have Aaron Gordon. Please, bro. Please.
Honestly, I feel like that's
Chuma
the second round
Okeke
exit for Giannis.
Or Terrence, like other people. Come on, man. Of course,
that's definitely a second round exit for Giannis. But let's go back to it. Celtics Raptors. Who do you have?
Celtics in 7. My bracket
I have
is so
Celtics
wrong
in
right
7.
now. My bracket right now is so incorrect.
Mine too.
It's
Nah,
off.
bro. We see the thing with us. I knew it was gonna bite me in the ass when I said the Trailblazers were gonna beat the Lakers. I knew it.
I still have them.
Huh?
I still have them winning. I still have them winning.
You still see now? I can't anymore.
I'm not gonna back out. I'm not. Cause if I back out, I'm gonna go.
Unless because of all this stuff that's going on, LeBron decides not to play. If LeBron decides not to play, it's over.
No, he's playing. He changes. They said it in NBA Twitter that with Woj, Chris B. Haynes, Shams, all those people. They said that LeBron changed his mind. Like he didn't say anything in the meeting, but he changed his mind. Like he knows that the NBA sacrificed so much to start the bubble. So why don't you just finish what you started? And if you think about it too, If you, and I showed it on the Instagram too. If you stop the season now, we're getting off topic a little bit, but this is important. If you stop the season now, like your last game was Tuesday, you lose enough money to have a lockout the 21 season. And last time there was a lockout, it was in 2012, 2011,
Something right there.
2013. 13 is the highest I'm going, but yeah, the last time there was a lockout, it was not good. That's money. That's money. The players weren't getting paid because they didn't have enough money. And that was when the stock market crashed. The stock market, no, but that was when there was like an economic depression in 2011. What? Sell it.
It's signed.
You can get big bucks off it.
I think. Is this
Yeah.
one?
If you don't start the season, if you don't finish
Yeah,
the
this
season,
one's signed.
if you don't finish the season, you don't have money. And then you have another lockout. Oh, shit. Sell it. Dude, they sold the
I've had
card
it
for
for so
millions of
long.
dollars. All right. But yeah, I got Celtics in 7 because depth and because defense. No, not defense, because offense. And you have Marcus Smart that can guard anyone. And I mean anyone. Marcus Smart can
Oh
guard
shit!
LeBron
This
James.
is a rookie year card.
Oh, that's
He
even
only
better.
has one season.
That's even better.
This is his sophomore year. That's crazy. All right. Now, the next topic you want to talk about a lot, the head coach market. I don't really keep up with this type of stuff. This is more all you.
Oh, the head coach market?
So go let.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't write anything down today because, like, I had my girl over. But, look. You have the Pacers. Don't have a coach. The Nets don't have a coach anymore. Jacques Vaughn is not a bad coach at all. But they don't want to keep him. Because there's a better market. They don't have a coach. So if you want to write that down somewhere, I will. Okay. Indy. Brooklyn.
Oh, and just
Who else
just
doesn't
so
have a
you
coach?
know,
Yeah.
just so you know, again you put episode 6.
No, I haven't changed that. I haven't changed it. You can change it now. I haven't
You're
changed it.
supposed to change it before we set the stream. All right, whatever.
Okay, then we change it after. But it's the same thing. Brooklyn. Who else doesn't have a coach? Houston by the end of the season. If they don't make the finals. If they don't make the championship, they're firing D'Antoni. So I'm going to put Houston. Who else? The Lakers, not really, because the Lakers don't have options. The Lakers have options. The Lakers have options. Like, they have 3 head coaches in their system. So no wonder their coaching is beast. They have 3 head coaches. 3 defensive... No. Tyronn Lue... No. Sorry. That's the Clippers. Tyronn Lue is not a real head coach. He was just... Like, LeBron carried him. Nobody wants to say that, but LeBron carried him. He's horrible without LeBron.
What do you mean no one wants to say? Everyone says that.
That's why the Clippers, are good offensively because they have Tyronn Lue, and Tyronn Lue learned his shit from LeBron. Jason Kidd is a defensive-minded coach, as well as getting the ball around. That's what Milwaukee did when he was coach. They passed the ball a lot. Their ball movement was one of the best. Frank Vogel is a good coach. He's underrated, but he's a good coach. I'm thinking who else? Nate McMillan is a good coach. They just fired him because they're retarded. And because they know Victor Oladipo is not going to stay. That's why he's on the trade block. Most likely. What else? I'm thinking of other teams that don't have coaches. The Knicks signed Thibodeau. That's going to destroy their franchise once again. Either way, your options are if or when they fire D'Antoni. That system, I don't like that system for any team. The audio's cutting out. I don't like that system for any team because it's 3-point shooting. If you put them in a system where they have centers, which every team in this league has centers, you're messing it up. And then they're trading away the centers and they're ruining their franchise for a coach that's not going to take you anywhere. Nate McMillan is a really good coach. Really good. If you see his system of play, he's really good. The only thing he did was destroy Miles Turner's career so he can turn Sabonis' career into beast. He completely destroyed the development of Miles Turner. That's why I think it was a good idea firing him to see who they bring in to complement that. If you bring in Mike D'Antoni to complement that, Miles Turner is gonna become a 3-point shooter. He's gonna go to beast big man to an outside player, and you're gonna mess him up again. His career is gonna go flying into the toilet, which is gonna suck. Brooklyn has options. D'Antoni's not a good one because you have Jared Allen. And that guy cannot shoot for his life.
I like D'Antoni for Harden specifically.
Yeah,
And
D'Antoni
only
for Harden is perfect. Even though we talked about it yesterday with Matthias, we should get him on the show. Because he spit facts. I'm not going to get into that now, but he spit facts.
Yo, he
about
hates
Harden.
you.
Huh?
Just kidding. But what? No, I didn't say nothing.
Whatever, man. He hates Harden too. He doesn't hate him. He just recognizes what's going on. But the coaching options are good. It's just a matter of execution. Brooklyn for them would be perfect. Jason Kidd, because Jason Kidd knows how to pass the ball
and look,
defense.
For Richard that's in the chat.
What?
I know you probably remember what Danny said. I think it was last episode about Lillard being a top 2 player. Like, how is Lillard a top 2 player? And he said that he never said that.
I said if he won the finals this year, he would be a top 2 player.
No, but we said that yesterday with Matthias, and you said no, I never said that. You can run it back. You can run back the stream.
I didn't say that. Yo, you can.
Yes, bro. Yo, Danny, bro, you're down bad, bro. Yeah, drink your water. I'm gonna drink some too.
Bro, what are you drinking out of a flower pot? Jesus.
Yeah. All right.
The coaching options are good. The market is good. It's just a matter of execution. What the hell happened to your camera? Oh, there. Blurry. It's blurry.
Oh, we both froze. I'm looking at.
Oh, there you are.
Froze in such a funny position. All right, whatever. All right.
The coaching market is good.
Moving on.
Yeah. Like I said, the coaching market is good. It's just the execution. What?
Hello?
Yeah, go. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Yeah, you can.
All right, now I can. All right. I think it froze for a little bit.
I'm good.
All right.
Here.
All right. So you ready for the next one?
Yes. Yes.
Is playoff P washed? This one is brought to you by Matthias. Cause bro, I play with Matthias online every single day, right? So whenever he comes back from work or something, shout out, you know what I'm saying? Like, he always tells me, "Damn, you saw how Paul George played today,
dude.
Play like straight. He has like post notifications on for Paul George, just to let me know that Paul George played like ass.
You know Paul George limits comments now. Like if you don't follow him, you can't.
Yeah,
comment
I'd expect so, because look, Paul George has been playing like straight dog shit this series. He had one good. He had that good game last game. Okay. He had that really good game, but you can't just completely forget what happened before that. And keep in mind, listen. Keep in mind that he is the same person who is talking shit to Damian Lillard.
Damian Lillard
after drop.
Damian Lillard.
What was it? It was after game 1 or 2 that he started talking shit about Damian Lillard, and then he goes out and drops that.
It was when they played against the Portland Trailblazers in the bubble. It was when they played against the Blazers.
Terrible.
In the bubble.
That was terrible.
But look, listen. I'm gonna educate you right now. I'm gonna educate you right now on Paul George. Paul George, as an Indiana Pacer, PG 24.
Okay, yeah. I'm not saying that he's not good in Indiana.
PG 24 was a stud. He was a stud. PG 13 in Indy was a stud. He went head to head with LeBron James, and they went to Game 7. I'm pretty sure almost every time. They had good games, good battles. Like I was dropping 25 plus a game in the playoffs those years, until he got injured with that foot injury in the Olympic practice, trying to block guess who? James Harden. Even the refs gave him that call. Even the refs gave him that call. Paul George lying on the ground with his leg
Okay,
looking like
pause,
a protractor.
Pause.
And they gave Harden the call.
Pause. Listen. No one is saying that Pacers Paul George is bad. No one is saying that. Everyone knows that what he did. But we're talking about right now.
Richard.
Okay.
Everyone that says playoff P is a hypocrite. That is facts. Because nobody recognizes the fact that Paul George was a stud before his shoulder injury.
No one
his
is
foot injury.
talking about
Listen. I know.
Danny, shut up. We're talk about now. What has he done this playoff? I'm not saying that he's bad. I'm not saying that he's bad. I'm talking about him in the playoffs. Now, I'm not talking about in the little bubble practice, like the regular season bubble thing. I'm talking about the playoffs right now.
Look.
What has he done in the playoffs?
How you determine that, you have to go to the past. He was good as the Pacer until he got injured in the Olympics. He came back a year later, struggled a little bit, then he came back up.
That's the shoulder injury.
Goes to OKC, injures his shoulder badly. Had like 3 surgeries for it. And then finally, when he became a Clipper, for some reason there were better doctors. I don't know if Kawhi went in there and did surgery on him. I don't know. Turned him into a robot like he was. Paul George came in after the All-Star break. There was no All-Star break. There was an All-Star break. Was there? There was an All-Star break this year, right? Yeah, there were All-Stars this year. He came back after the All-Star break and said, I'm ready to go. I feel like 100% I'm ready to go. And he went off. Then you can't expect a man to go from shoulder surgery, that bad, that many surgeries, 4-month goes back to playing like a god that he is. A 4-month hiatus. You come back. He's still playing at a top level, 25 plus a game. Now, you get to the playoffs and he struggles. You can't blame it 110% on the shoulder injury, but you can blame it on what I told you earlier in the episode, the surroundings, right? Just like LeBron James is affected by the fact that his family's not there, Paul George is the same thing. So is Giannis. So is freaking Terrence Ross. All those other people that have families. Kyle Korver. All those people that have families. They're all affected.
Look. No one is denying how good he's done. Right? And the games that he does do good, there's no, I'm not saying that he's doing that. I give him credit when he does a good game. Yes, I know. Yes. Okay. And what's it called? What, you good?
What did you do? Were you talking to yourself?
I was talking to my grandma. No, I was talking to my grandma.
I was about to say.
All right, so what was I saying?
I just got
okay. Yes, I give him credit whenever he has a good game, but he can't have one good game and 3 bad games. He has to be consistent too. You can't show him different. Bro, I need to go shut my dog up, bro. You talk about Paul George. Hold on.
That happened. Apparently they don't understand that he has a podcast. But anyways, yeah. Look, Paul George is a stud. First of all, I'm not gonna he's my favorite player, like my favorite player of all time. So I'm not gonna drop bias on. So I may be dropping some bias in some people's minds, but you have to remember, you have to go back to the past and see what happened during his career to determine what's happening now. He had a shoulder pain. He had a shoulder injury. He had a leg injury. He came back from that. Look at him now. He's still playing All-Star level. In fact, came back from the shoulder injury, or I think it was the year before the shoulder injury. Had an MVP season. No, he had an MVP year. Then he had the shoulder injury, and then they traded him because he wasn't playing as good. And even then with the shoulder injury, he was playing like 80%, and it was still good. It was still MVP caliber seasons, left and right. In OKC, he was second behind Giannis in MVP with the shoulder injury. You got to give him that. And then for him to come and, playoff P, you guys people making fun of playoff P, that's the stupidest thing I've ever seen because playoff P is there. He has always been there. You just have to account for everything that's going on. LeBron James wasn't playing that good. LeBron James wasn't playing that good either. His field goal percentage was bad. Doesn't mean his playmaking. You never know what aspect of their game affects the person. Like what aspect, what type of emotion affects what type of aspect of their playing, of their game. LeBron James' family, he misses his family, misses his mom. That could affect his scoring. Paul George, same thing. He misses his family, he misses his daughter. That could have what's it called? That could have affected his scoring. You never know that. You never know that. And besides, he's on the Clippers. He has Kawhi to back him up. He has a whole team of studs to back him up. They're championship favorites for a reason. Because they know for a fact Playoff P is back. They know for a fact. Now, Richard here gets it. Because Paul George, Playoff P has always been good, like he says. But when he has a bad game, he gets clowned. And when he goes off, it's crickets. That's facts. That is facts. Going on to the next topic. Brought to you by Alvaro. Alvaro, was it? Or Matias? One of those two. Is LUKA a top 5 player? Now, if you guys want to drop your opinions in the messages, in the chat stream, that would be amazing. But here's my take. LUKA, top 5 player now? No. There are too many good players above him to say that. And we're only bringing up this, and think about it, the topic is only being brought up because of the playoffs. What about the regular season? Yes, he's a good player in the regular season. But, what's it called? He's a good player in the regular season, but it doesn't amount to everything that's going on, right? The playoffs is a different atmosphere. The regular season is a different atmosphere. The regular season, you have more help. The playoffs, you have less help. The playoffs usually take it into your own hands, while in the regular season, you work as a team. You figure out what's your strong point. LUKA being a top 5 player now, this second, no. In the playoffs, yes. This second, like over the season, no. I think within the next 2-3 years, he's a top 5 player in the league. He's going to become the face of the league. Zion's the face of the league because college highlights. That's it. But LUKA is going to be the face of the league. LUKA's going to be like the next LeBron in the sense that they're the face of the league. Richard said, who's above him? There's no specific order. Giannis, Harden, Kawhi. What's that? I said Kawhi. LeBron, and who else? Anthony Davis. And then there's more, but we're not gonna get into those others because the question is top 5, and he's not top 5. He's not. But within the next 2 to 3 years, he's going to be not only top 5 player, he's probably going to be the best player in the NBA alongside Trae Young, Zion, Ja, and then the future that comes. James Wiseman probably. And yeah, he's going to be still.
I heard everything you said about Paul George, bro. Ain't no one trying to show no hate to Paul George.
I didn't say that. I did say that.
Yes, you were like.
I was saying, I didn't say no. I said people out there. I didn't say all of you. I said people out there. This guy Richard said, "Wow, Harden, I'm gonna go play the lotto."
Nah. Okay.
What do you think about LUKA being a top 5 player?
Listen. Going back to the Paul George thing, whenever he has a bad game, obviously he gets clowned for it. He's an all-star. That comes with being an all-star in the playoffs. Now, whenever he has a good game, there's crickets, but his fans are still obviously showing him love. The league. People that are hypocrites aren't showing him love. But what I'm saying is he has to remain consistent if he wants to keep on getting that love. He doesn't have to go out and drop 50, 40, 30. Like, he can go out there and drop a solid 20. But,
look,
what did he drop that one game? He dropped like 9 points.
Yeah, and they were all in the first quarter. In the first half. Well, no, 7 in the first half, 2 in overtime.
Like, what is that? Is that your king?
The all-star resume comes with that, yeah. Like, if you have a bad game, they're going to say stuff about it. If you don't, they expect that of you. That's the difficulty of being an all-star. That's another thing that could drop people into depression. You never know that. The fact that he's missing his family, he misses his family like shit. He hasn't seen him in like a month and a half or something. And you're adding stuff to it. Of course, they're gonna be in a dark place. Kawhi Leonard's never in a dark place because he doesn't talk. He doesn't have a social life.
Yeah.
I guess it's stud. But what do you think about LUKA being a top 5 player? I said,
It's a tough one.
in 2 to 3 years, yes. He'll be, because people say Zion is the face of the league. They freaking put him over Luka and Ja in a 2K cover. But if you think about it, Luka Doncic is better. Luka Doncic is better than Zion. Luka Doncic is gonna be the next LeBron in the sense that he's the face of the league.
Luka is the cover athlete for next year's 2K, 100%. 100%.
22.
I will put money right now. There's no way he's not. But
Trae Young.
is he top? If he look, that's spit. If he beats the Clippers, he's top 5. I don't care what you say. If he beats the Clippers, he's top 5.
We have to think about it this way: playoffs and regular season are two different things.
And he's done good in both. He's the youngest player to get, what was it, a 40-point triple-double in the playoffs or something like that?
And a buzzer beater.
Like,
but that's how you know. That's how you know they're inventing stats. That's how you know they're inventing stats. Because when you add the buzzer beater, that's how you know you're inventing stats. The first 40-point triple-double, like the youngest ever 40-point triple-double, yeah. When you add a buzzer beater, that's inventing stats. You're just making stats.
We're not talking about that. We're just talking about in general.
That's the record, though. That's the stat. That's what they called the stat. That's what they called it. With the buzzer beater. 40-point triple-double with the buzzer beater. Now, look. Luka Doncic in the future, like I said several times, these people are going to get annoyed. He's going to be the face of the league. He's going to be the next LeBron in the sense that he's the number one in the league, that he's the NBA. People, when they say NBA, Luka Doncic. That's the assimilation. I don't know what happened to this guy, but...
Oh, once again, my parents are calling me. Oh my, I am so sorry. Hold on. But yeah, Luka right now, I don't know if he's a top 5. He's pushing to be a top 5.
He's top 15. He's top 15. Top 20.
He's top 10.
Top 20.
He's definitely top 10.
Top 15. Top 15. 15. 10. But we're going in now to the last topic. And this topic is... It could be controversial, but I think a lot of people would agree on this. Should the NBA consider artificially or like AI referees? What do you think about that? He's mute. Okay. Since Richard is the only one in the comments, might as well. Look, drop your opinions on this, but who should be if I were the NBA, I think with what's going on in the bubble, like the calls and stuff, I get that the whole Jacob Blake situation. They're really good people in the sense that they protest too peacefully. They agree with the movement. Players can agree with that and stuff like that. But if we're talking about a basketball aspect in the game, I think the NBA should consider AI referees because because the foul calls are insane. You're giving specific players more calls than others. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Richard said the mistakes. He messes with he fucks with that, but at the same time, the mistakes add fun to the game. Yeah, that's like saying baseball adding like robot umpires that pitch perfect strike zone. Yeah, it's fun. But one thing is that it's fun. The other thing is that one thing is like a couple. The other thing is that you're giving specific calls to specific players. LeBron James gets a call every time he drives in. James Harden gets a call every time he drives in. Who else gets a call? Giannis gets a call every time he drives in. Even then, they miss calls on Giannis. I don't know why. But if you're a superstar in the league, they're going to give you calls. There are stars in this league that don't get calls like they do. There are players in this league that don't get calls like they do, and they do the same thing. They do the same thing. That also affects your stardom, right? Because there could be an upcoming breakout player. Let's give it like a Trey Burke, for example. Upcoming breakout player, and their game is driving, and they don't get those calls like James Harden does or like LeBron does. That affects the stardom of players. That affects players, and if you want to get into detail, that could affect their money. That could affect their careers. That could affect so many things just because the refs have the foundation. Not the foundation, but they have like a very large piece of affecting players' careers in the sense that they don't get the calls, they don't get the right treatment. Even what's it called? Even who was it that went on? Somebody went on social media and started saying that they get too many like superstar, that they're not Jason Tatum, that they're not giving him superstar calls because he knows that the superstars are the ones get, in my opinion James Harden's not a superstar. They give superstar calls to the superstars. I know for a fact you didn't hear anything I said, but it actually makes sense.
That time I didn't, yeah.
Look, I was saying, like, I'm so sorry I have to repeat it for everybody. But
No, just
yeah, I'm gonna put a rundown. Yeah, the referees have a piece in affecting a player's career, in the sense that, let's say for example, let's get Romeo Langford. I used Trey Burke the last time, but I'm gonna use Romeo Langford this time. Romeo Langford, his game is based on driving, like driving into the paint and shooting threes. He drives into the paint, gets pummeled by 3 defenders. He gets hit in the face, gets hit in the arm. The light contact, the hard contact they'll call. The light contact, like they do James Harden. They see a finger pass by. They see a finger skim him on the official review, and they'll call a foul. Possibly even a technical. They don't give that stuff to Romeo Langford. Now, Romeo Langford could use that to become what James Harden did. A star in the league. Probably even a superstar in the league. Off those foul calls. If you go into detail, that affects your money, that affects your career, that affects your longevity, in the sense that, like, your willingness to play, because you're not getting the same calls everyone else is. The refs are being biased. That can affect so much. That one little call. It can affect the outcome of the game, like the goaltending by Rudy Gobert on Damian Lillard, that made the Blazers lose the game. Just a couple weeks before the hiatus. I feel like it's like baseball. If you put robot umpires, that strike zone is going to be pitch perfect, and if it touches the square, it's a strike. Yeah, and like Richard said, the mistakes make it fun, but at the same time, too many mistakes is a problem.
Exactly. Like, you're trying to deal with robots. How is that going to work? Like, what if they malfunction?
You know how they have a replay center?
Mm-hmm.
That's how they use the robots. But the thing is, now that I think about it,
but who is the one that then decides from the replay? It's people, so it's not the robots.
Okay, yeah, but now that I think about it, like, it's a good thing. It just depends on how this is why I'm so glad I'm not in a position of power, because I can't make that choice. I can't. As of right now, I cannot make that choice. But if you have robot umpires, you also have to think about the fact that, like, just like I said about baseball, like, it touches the strike zone, the line of the strike zone, it's called a strike. If it touches it. If an NBA player skim their finger, it all depends on programming, but if they skim their finger, the robots will call a foul. That's another thing. You can't call everything, because then it's going to be...
I feel like that would work better in the MLB. I don't think robot refs, AI refs, whatever, will work in the NBA, because I don't know, fouls, like, I don't know.
Okay, if you don't use AI refs, like, though,
contact.
Yeah, if you don't use AI refs, I feel like the NBA should implement a system where refs get punished for those calls.
At least what we have now, it's humans deciding whether it's a foul or not. But AIs could be manipulated. I know humans can be too, but I feel like it'll be easier. Like, just think of this. Harden, right? He gets a lot of foul calls. He has a lot of money. Goes out and buys a AI bot and starts practicing different ways that he can manipulate the bot to get him a foul. You know what I mean?
I didn't think he put it that way.
Maybe like a certain if he goes up a certain way, it's gonna call a foul. Like, I don't know. You gotta think about that.
I didn't think he put it that way, but like that's a really good example. But also you have to think about it, like the I feel like if the NBA is not gonna do like robot refs, which now that I think about it's a bad idea. Have a system where you reprimand referees that give calls to that like, I don't want to say it like that, like with that word, but I need to put in a different word. there's no way I can put it that makes it sound wrong. That doesn't make it sound wrong. So I'm gonna say this: divide calls, because they categorize calls. That's the word. They categorize. If you're a superstar, if the media deems you the media is also in on this. The media is also in on this. If the media deems you a superstar, you get every single call. The refs just like discriminate those players. They discriminate the people under the superstardom, maybe even stardom. That's why Jason Tatum went on social media the other day saying, "I want those star. Why don't I get those star calls?" Because even he knows it's like a category. You just like rank up. That's why I feel like the NBA should have a system of reprimanding that, so they don't do that. So they can call it even for everybody. Because somebody can get punched in the face when they drive in and they won't call it. But when James Harden gets skimmed, you touch his beard, it's a flagrant foul. Like, please.
It's because he throws himself at the other people.
Hassan Whiteside did a spin move.
If he goes up for a shot, he's gonna hit himself with someone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you can't go that right there. When you jump into a call, that shouldn't be allowed. And I don't even think it's in the rules. I don't even think it's in the rules, but that shouldn't be allowed. Because then you get a foul call for everything.
That's the thing. The refs, think of a ref as a regular worker. He's just doing his job. If that's not in the rule book, then same thing with the step back. Like,
his step back is a travel. He hasn't done it in a long time, but it's a travel.
It's questionable. I don't know. Because it's a snatch back. You don't pick up your dribble, and then you take 2 steps.
You can't do that.
But your last step is like a hop, so it makes it kind of weird. I don't know.
And also when you're driving in, those 3 steps, the refs don't see that, but they take 3 steps almost every time. But that doesn't matter. Those travel calls don't matter. It matters when it's a step back, and they don't call it because you can see it's a travel. But the media is also infected. The media is also included because the media gives those names out. They give those titles. Luka Doncic is going to become a superstar by the end of the playoffs because of his performance. You never know. Lonzo Ball, when he came out in the draft, was considered a superstar. Look at how that turned out. He couldn't handle it. He can't handle the pressure. The media gives you those names, and then all of a sudden it's like the media is involved in this stuff, and even in the games, in the broadcast, they skim the finger. The media's like, oh, that's a foul. I don't know what they're talking about. That's a foul, and it's with James Harden, LeBron, Giannis, the superstars. Yeah, even though it's like, yeah, that's a foul. You broke my fingernail. That's a foul. Jam the finger on the wrong on a steal. That's a foul. Come on. It's those calls that piss you off, and it's the mistakes make it fun, but too many, to the point where like it affects a game, and the review still says otherwise. But yeah, those are the topics for today. I don't know if you want to add anything.
No, that's pretty much it. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna try to. We need to put last week's episode up on YouTube.
Yeah, I forgot.
And we need to put this week's. Yeah, but that's fine.
Yeah, we're gonna put these last 2 episodes, like this episode and the last week's episode, on YouTube. I got caught, because I got a job now, so I have, not had time for that.
And I'm stressing over college. But I get my Mac next week, so we're good.
Yeah, once he gets his Mac, we're gonna do OBS. He's gonna run OBS, so then I'll have more mobility. I can put Twitch on this side. I can stream chat, all that stuff. So we'll be good. By next week or the following, we'll be he'll have OBS and he'll be able to control everything, and the quality should be better.
And yes, Richard, he does like to attack Harden. I'm going to date, by the way. But yeah, that's basically it. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and see you next week. Next week, yeah. Oh, and before we're gonna try. I'm going to see if I can get the talks in, get other people in. But we're trying to get either the GOAT debate or something else. Whatever comes up next week. But the GOAT debate is going to be one of them. Even though that to me, is going to be like a whole episode segment. So we'll see. And we're trying to see if we can get some guests on the show. Some high quality. Not saying that, the people that have been on the show aren't high quality guests. But So people that that'll shock you guys. We're trying to see that. So
So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace.